After emerging from a 27-minute coma, she penned a hair-raising message. People are fortunate when they come back to life after being close to death. Tina Hines was unconscious for 27 minutes, and now she's slowly waking up in the hospital. Her husband, Brian, thinks the heart attack she had almost took her life. It was really uncertain if she would wake up again. Then, Tina asked for a pen and paper. What she wrote down after almost dying is really scary. Long before the incident happened, the two were college sweethearts, having first met each other at California's Biola University, where they'd shared 2 classes. From there, Brian and Tina's relationship progressed quickly and seemingly with ease too. They eventually got married, and Tina and Brian would go on to have 4 children. Before settling in Phoenix, Arizona, it was at the Hines home in the city that the couple's world almost shattered. It was just like any normal Monday. Brian told Phoenix's American Heart Association the day the couple had been out for a hike before Jeff called in to see them. Then, shortly after the Hines friend had arrived at their home, disaster struck. When I got to their home, Tina and I were standing shoulder to shoulder, Jeff later recalled. The next second, Tina had fallen virtually straight face forward into the rocks. Realizing that something was seriously wrong, he yelled out to Brian to call 911. The emergency call handler told Brian that Tina needed chest compressions. Describing what happened next, Brian said to Phoenix American Heart Association, "Jeff, immediately, because I'm talking to the 911 operator," he started to push down on Tina's chest. Neither one of us had any kind of training at all. Given the physical effort that CPR can require, however, Jeff soon tired. Ultimately, it fell to a distraught Brian to save his wife's life. He continued pushing as hard as he could until the fire service personnel arrived at the scene. They took Brian's place, insisting Tina. Now, all the concerned husband could do was watch as the firefighter tried to save his wife's life. In all, the crew gave Tina 5 electric shocks on the way to the hospital in a desperate bid to kickstart her heart. According to firefighter Joe Sandman, it was Brian's actions that had prevented Tina from dying on the sidewalk outside her home. In that desperate moment, the husband and father turned to God. Recalling his prayers, Brian claimed that he had tried to make a deal with God. "I told God that if he gave me Tina back, then he could take anything else," Brian said. "He could take all of our cars. He could take all my stuff. I don't need that stuff. I needed Tina." And it seemed that Brian's prayers may have paid off. After he had arrived at the hospital, a doctor told him that his wife was alive. For Brian, then, Tina's survival was nothing short of a miracle. Indeed, he truly believed that God had granted him his wish. But while his wife was unconscious, she had witnessed something that she went on to report to her spouse. As Tina lay lifeless for 27 minutes, she believes that she had a so-called afterlife experience. And the Arizona mom isn't the first person to claim to have seen something beyond this realm while on the cusp of death. Some individuals who have since been brought back to life have reported observing bright lights or frightening creatures during their periods of unconsciousness, for example. So as Tina was revived time and time again by emergency services, little did her distraught husband know that she too was having one of those afterlife experiences. The first to learn of the matter, in fact, was when Tina came round and was seemingly in a hurry to pass on a message to her surrounding family members. Incapable of being able to voice her thoughts out loud and intubated, Tina was handed a pen and paper to help her communicate. Then, in an almost unintelligible scrawl, she simply wrote, "It's real." Confused, her family members asked Tina what she was referring to, and in response, she pointed upwards, signifying heaven, as the emotion of the occasion overcame her. For Tina, there's little doubt that what she saw that day was a little piece of heaven. Referring to the number of times she was resuscitated following her heart attack, like many other accounts of afterlife experiences, Tina also includes light. It was bright yellow, so it was almost like that vision of the sun. She told Good Morning Arizona, and it was within those golden rays that Tina claims Jesus had stood. Furthermore, Tina's vision has made both her and Brian convinced that it was God's will to save her, and the couple had discovered a new appreciation for life as a result. That isn't the only way in which Tina and Brian's lives have changed in the wake of the heart attack, either. Now, both are also spokespeople for the American Heart Association, and if that wasn't enough, the couple has found viral fame too, as a consequence of Tina's apparent afterlife experience. Nevertheless, despite their bolstered faith in God, Tina and Brian acknowledge that others had also helped in the bid to save Tina's life. Consequently, the couple made sure to visit the 911 call handler as well as the firefighters who assisted on that fateful day. They thought it was really important to say thank you to every person who helped, and one of the members of the emergency crew who helped Tina after her heart attack also believed that something higher had stepped in to make sure she stayed alive. It's one of those moments none of us will ever forget. One of the firefighters told Good Morning Arizona, "I saw something incredible happen. That's how I see it." But for Tina, there was one more person she had to thank for saving her life, her husband of 30 years. Brian was the one who gave Tina CPR to keep her heart beating. Her grateful wife told the American Heart Association in Phoenix, "In those few moments, if I was alone, things could have turned out very differently." What do you think of this story? Do you believe what Tina said? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up and consider to share it with your loved ones. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.